stay with the lighter weight. 25s is like plenty for me for this. What I'm doing here is I'm going prone, so I'm gonna be laying on my stomach, on my knees. So talk about really taking the body out of the equation. So my arms are just hanging loose here, and I'm gonna do a hammer curl. So all I'm doing is I'm bringing the head of the dumbbell to my shoulders, right there. And then a nice stretch all the way down. Down, under control. Does not take much weight. Feels awesome. Really feel the forearms working here. So prone hammer curls. So really try to bring the head of that dumbbell to the front of that shoulder and then down under control, fully stretching the arms, okay? Don't be one of these guys. Don't do the mini reps, the half reps. You know, unless it's maybe your last set and you're really trying to get everything out of it and stay in where you're strong. That's what we tend to do, us guys. We stay where we're strong too much. So we get the belly of the muscle really well, but we do a lousy job of hitting the muscle more intensely, at its extremes, at its end ranges. And what happens is the muscle, grows strong in some points and weaker in other points. So try to be a little bit more thoughtful when it comes to some of these exercises, that you're going through that range of motion under tension, and slow the reps down a little bit. Slow them down. You're working with low to moderate weight. Just hold it this way and doing basically a close grip curl. So you got to get used to how that feels, right? You got the nice big thick iron handle, holding it like this, standing tall, and then just a nice close grip curl. Kind of like where your hands would be if you're holding an easy bar, an easy curl bar at the middle area. Only now my hands are a little bit more at a neutral position. Getting a really good squeeze, good full arm extension, and then just a really good squeeze at the top. Love this exercise. Keep your form.
getting into position here, slight bend in the knees, core is tight. We're breathing and we're off. We're curling and pressing, going all the way up. All 2024 on this beautiful Monday. We're here for 30 seconds and then we're holding. You're breathing, engaging that core. We're smiling because we're here today, because it's Monday morning and you get to work out with us. I mean, what else would you be doing on Monday? Control it, yep. Almost there. Good work. Halfway, we're here. We're holding it in a box. We're holding. We're thinking positive thoughts only. All negative thoughts out. None of that. If you need to take the break, take it. But if not, we're here to push ourselves. So we're holding it here just for a few more seconds. You got this. Make sure to breathe. We're breathing, slight bend in the knees. Engaging that core. Final 10. If you need a reset, do so, but jump back in. We're almost there. I know it's getting a little spicy. 2, and bring them down.
The first one is gonna be the triceps extension. You're gonna step in your bands. You're gonna lean forward. You're gonna make sure that you keep your elbows close to your body. You can even hold here, or if you want more resistance, you can hold in the tube. So you're gonna go from here, extend your triceps all the way back and squeeze and hold.
This takes a little bit more work to go down slowly. I might lose my pants. Don't laugh. Okay, now, you can do whatever you want with your feet. Now already, I've increased tension on the triceps because I'm on a decline. Okay, so I'm making the triceps already start to work, just holding the weights up. And then I'm just coming down nice and easy. The elbows stay pointed directly up at the ceiling. Again, I'm not going heavy here. I typically will do skull crushers with, 35 to 40 pound dumbbells, but you really got to take the weight down when you start playing with angles. It makes them much harder, much faster. So what I'm trying to do is always be sure that my arm, that I'm trying to come down to my temples, to the sides of my head, and my elbow really stays pinned up at the ceiling. And I get that, my arm's not here. If my arms are here, I'd really take the tension off the triceps. My arms are more here, so I'm preloading the tricep kind of in between every rep. So it's just working harder. Let me pull my pants up.
We're going overhead tricep extension. So dumbbells going overhead, dropping it behind. As low as you can get, driving back up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, good. 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew, breaking a little sweat.
Next one we're gonna do is a dumbbell wrist rotation. I love this one because you feel your biceps. Hold your biceps here right at parallel, slow and controlled. rotate at the wrists. You're gonna go all the way until failure, till you feel that burn. And then when you got the lower arm, shake it out and get right back to it. Just keep going until you can't even go anymore.
Go to the hardware store, buy a piece of wood, or like the handle for a hammer, a sledgehammer, and then tie a rope on the center of it. And you can, create your own one. My dad had one when I was a kid growing up, and he left it next to his chair. And he would just break that thing out while he's watching TV and just do wrist rollers sometimes. So I love this exercise. It does not take a lot of weight. That's 10 pounds. That's 4 2.5 pound plates. Plus the weight of this. This is a Rogue wrist roller. This itself is probably close to 5 pounds. So hold your arms out straight. And the key here is to do it 2 ways. So if you notice right now when I'm rolling, I'm pushing it forward. And then to unwind it, I have to kind of come back towards me. So that's one way to roll it up. Keeping my arms kind of out in front of me, right? Okay, so you want to do that. The other way to roll it is to roll the stick or the bar the opposite direction. So get good at doing it both ways. This is tremendous work for the forearms. So instead of, again, pushing this way with it, I'm gonna come back towards me and roll it the opposite way. This is a harder way to roll it. Rolling it back towards me, really feeling that in the forearms. Roll it to the top, and then don't just let it drop, roll it down. Roll it down. It's like people when they do their deadlifts, they're so proud of themselves, and then they just drop the weight from the standing position. Nothing irks me more than so you got it up, get it down, right? So love doing the wrist roller. Make that part of your exercise routine. The key to a good reverse curl is to make sure that when you're starting the exercise, obviously the palms are facing the body. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to stay pronated, so palm down. You're trying to stay palm down through the whole exercise. Inevitably, what's going to happen, we're all a little bit built differently, that the palm is going to want to start to kind of open up as you come through the curl. But so what you're trying to do is maintain this palm down grip, and there might be a slight angle to it as you see, but as I come up, see, my palm is still mostly down, a little bit of an angle, kind of like the angle of an easy bar, and then back down, okay? So we're here, full stretch, and then like I feel this more on my right side, a little bit of tightness. So, probably a little bit of inflammation there that typically will go away as I train and warm up the muscles, but that's your standard reverse curl